Gut, dann fangen wir an. Sorry, switching to English because we have a few people attending this session as well from England. So I want to ensure everyone understands this. I hope this is okay for all the other people joining this call today in this session. First, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Sven. I'm the country manager of Germany at Plentific. I would like to share with you a little bit how Plentific has been able to help our customers in the digital transition from work, repair, and maintenance management. Also what that meant in terms of results for them, so they can get a little bit of understanding how we can drive actually KPIs and results with our clients. In order to kick that off, I have two introduction slides. One is a little video I'd like to show you, just takes about a minute, and then a numbers game. I like to make this an interactive session at the end. So this takes about like 18 minutes or so in total to share with you a few slides about Plentific. And then I would like to open it for like 10 minutes to 12 minutes Q&A, if that's okay for you. And I appreciate that you're taking the time to attend this long journey day, and I hope you enjoyed it so far. So thanks for your time taking this short video. I think it gives you a little bit of insight of what really we're up to in terms of digital connection between the landlords and the tenants, as well as the pros. I'd like to kick this off a little bit with a numbers game, because at the end of the day, we're all in business. We like to drive our business by numbers. And so I think it has some relevance if I share some insights with you. Usually if it would be a live session, and I would ask around what you think what these numbers would mean, but I will shortcut that one. Just some housekeeping. If you have any questions or so, and you want like a break in between, please raise your hand. My colleagues will actually take care of that one. Otherwise, would be appreciated if you also could just hold your question or push your question into the chat, and we're able to answer that at the end. So what does 3, 11, and 42 really means? So 3 days actually has been the improvement that our UK customers have seen in terms of turnaround of work orders. So it means from the day when they actually have been issued up until they have been closed. That means we are right now, by the way, we'll share it later as well, around 72 hours is the best case we've seen in the UK for normal standard repair and maintenance, which is an incredible number, I think. In Germany, just to let you know, we're right now around 5 days. So within a week, usually we get everything repaired and closed. 11%, so more than 10% cost reduction over a period of a year in terms of repair and maintenance has been demonstrated by our customers. So that's their testimonial to us, what they have seen over a period of time to pre-Plentific and using Plentific, and explain you later on how that can happen with our marketplace approach. And another incredible number, which I find actually probably the most important one, is time saving. More than 40% time could have been saved, or has been saved, for a property manager in terms of time spent on managing a work order to Plentific, which was actually non-digital in that way. So it means typical ways you're using telephone, fax, email, and then trying to keep up the pace, keeping control and visibility of what the status is until receiving the invoices and managing them in a physical way and then forward into the bookkeeping and so on and so forth. 42% is an enormous amount of time that you can reallocate to something more valuable than just handling paper, for example. How are we doing that? I mean, what's our vision and mission? It's very, very easily. The mission really that we have is we want to improve living for the tenants, for the residents. We are all somehow tenants, residents in some way, even if we might live in our own apartment or house. We all know how it is if the toilet doesn't work for 3 days or we can't take a shower for a week because we can't get a pro. And we don't want to experience that ourselves, either as landlord, we want our tenants to experience that. So we want to deliver a quality, high quality service to the tenants for financial reasons as well. And the way how we want to accomplish that as the company, Plentific, we want to deliver an super streamlined rocket science kind of, or non-rocket science kind of product that enables you to optimize the communication, improve the processes, reduce the turnaround time, and actually, if possible, save cost while you increase actual quality to your tenants. Beside that, there will be some side effects as well that I'm going to show you later on as well. To give you some numbers about our business, the company, although we're 7 years old, we moved about 2 years ago from a B2C to pure B2B kind of business model. We have today about 200,000 properties on the platform, UK and Germany, and we have about 13,000 pros registered on the platform as well. Obviously more dominant in the UK because we only started in Germany, but I'm going to show you some numbers later on as well. The team, we're a very international company. We actually are more than 3 companies right now. So we're in 6 countries. The biggest one is UK, which is our headquarters in London, Germany and Turkey. We're also going to launch a business entity in the US, and if the timing works right, maybe even this year. What's actually our approach to enter this industry? What we really want to do is we want to connect everyone who is participating in this work and repair maintenance processes, I would say, because that's the only way how we can actually build a dotted connection in the communication, streamline the processes, digitalize the data, and getting a benefit just for every participant in this whole ecosystem. So we could deliver superior service to the tenant. We can implement automation processes, automation as well as communication process, which is also important. And we could deliver, I will come up with some examples, we can deliver some very critical insights for our clients to enable them taking decisive actions. So the way how you process or trying to optimize operations will be based on data that are very interesting. I will come up with some very fancy actually examples we just shared this week with a customer. The product itself has really evolved. I mean, we started as a marketplace and we only sold ourselves as a marketplace initially, but that's not at all what we are today. We really are a fantastic end-to-end horizontal product suite, I would say, that delivers modular systems and solutions to individual steps within this supply chain. That allows a very streamlined communication across all the different participants in this process, always obviously connected to your ERP system. So we obviously driving as well efficiency in the way how you operate your own businesses. That creates obviously the transparency that I would say not every property manager might like because he will become very visible in what he does. But from a management perspective, it really allows you to make better decisions. And how we do this? I mean, the journey really starts very simple with entering a work order. And this takes less than 10 minutes and minimum 5 up to 8 steps, depending on how many different options you want to choose as a property manager. Through a very simple and nice user interface, very modern, very sleek, not something what you can see right now in some other older solutions from, let's say, SAP systems, but a very, very fancy interface that really makes it easy to and likable to actually post a job. Now, the very important part is what happens next. Now, we have a very unique system in the way how address those work orders right now. If I talk, and I just talked to a few potential clients today, you're saying like, we have an SAP system, we're digital connected to our pros, which literally means they have an A to B communication channel, which is like one-way communication, no flexibility. And we're very different than that. I mean, when the property manager actually is preparing and posting a work order, he has a very flexible way how to address this work order to which kind of channel for procuring that service. You could decide to actually assign the job to his Hausmeister, his own direct labor organization. It could be also a pro that you have on your payroll. And I do know some of the bigger corporations in Germany actually have a couple hundred of those ones. You could also decide to streamline and address it directly to a contract service company, where you sign a contract to take care of your elevators or your your heating system, or maybe taking care of the gardens or whatever. You could address it through the same platform, the same way to that organization. Or, and this is the majority of work orders, being honest, it goes straight on the marketplace. When we say marketplace, for us is something that we really create from Plentific perspective. We bring in pros from our side, we acquire them, we nurture them, we take care of them, we verify them with documents, and enable them to actually bid on jobs on the platform. By the way, we do this in a smart way, right? So it's not that if you post a job in Berlin, someone in Munich will actually get the job or can bid on the job. We do it based on where the pros will actually select themselves the service areas. And they can be very flexible, very accurate in the way they do it. They could be very selective in the way they do it. So we ensure that the job offers only, or the job requests only go to those kind of pros that are available for this kind of trade, verified for the trade, and actually do service in that area where you need to have this job being done. Now, what that means actually, if it goes in the marketplace, you will get up to 5 quotes per job that you place there. The minimum what we're looking at from a quality perspective from ourselves is that you should get at least 3 quotes, and you will be able to actually make a selection based on price and on quality, because we have an internal rating system as well. So we do rate the pros, respectively, not us, our clients rate the pros based on the quality of service and communication, et cetera, and you can make a selection on the price as well. So you have a very good choice is who you want to select. And it's not always, by the way, the price that makes the choice. It's at least our experience. What it does give you is it gives you a constant flow of new pros that want to deliver and engage with you. And by the way, it gives you also flexibility in comparison to this end-to-end communication. When you say, I have a Handwerkerkopplung, like most companies do, because what it doesn't do is, being honest, the majority of pros that we have in the company, in Germany, sorry, most of them are not really keen actually to fill in 30 pages of EP catalog or connect the system digitally. They don't have the workforce for that, and they simply have usually enough to do. So what you do if you have only this point-to-point connection is you're usually very limiting your access to the pros in the market. And actually we liberate that. We give you very broad access to that without all this technical strings that you need to do or actually the pro need to do. Now, when it comes to operations, it's also critical factors. How we actually drive this efficiency from a operations perspective is we add all the information in one string of communication. It's all in Plentific. Based on that work order, you will place a work order, you will get the bids on that work order from the different companies, you will get the offers, you can make the selection. If you select the company, assign this job to a company, you will see actually the tenant information, make the appointment and confirm the appointment has been done, upload the further information about it, sorry, that the job has been concluded, for example, and all those information are in one string visible to you. So you don't have to run after those information. And we obviously can transfer those information as well, the status, into your ERP system if someone else would like to work from the ERP system as well. I mentioned the fact that you can work with, use your own DLO, your direct labor organization. as even smarter way. So we could implement automation system, what are automatic rules, I would say, that allows a kind of overflow, so that certain type of jobs consistently always only go to the DLO first, only if they don't have enough resources available, not enough time to, let's say, conclude the job within 24 hours or 48 hours. There's an overflow, and then the job actually flows automatically to the marketplace. So that way you can ensure that you deliver the service to your tenants the way you wanted and promised. So from an efficiency perspective, as mentioned earlier, I think what's very important to understand as well is that not just the offering goes through the Plentific funnel, as well the documentation, the invoicing goes through the funnel. And something that's very different here to understand is also the payment is done through Plentific. We have done this in a very smart way, whereas we establish e-wallets on both sides, considered like a PayPal system. So you have a very tight budget control on the entity level. You ensure you'll never run out of or above the budget that you assigned on a quarterly, monthly, and weekly base with a certain entity and certain properties. At the same time, the payment, once the invoices are approved and confirmed, then the payment goes automatically into the wallet from the pro. This has the fact that the pro doesn't need to chase the invoice payment anymore. He doesn't need to worry about the cash flow, and he's very easy to actually perform jobs for you. We've seen this being very well accepted, especially in the eastern part of Germany, where some of our clients had a little bit of problem in the history, I would say. And pros have been a little bit reluctant to work for this client in the past. Now, after our pilot run, this has totally changed, and is very well accepted now. So as mentioned, all this kind of information flow that we showed earlier actually lends into a data warehouse, a data pool that allows you to make a lot of informed decisions. You can analyze your portfolio data around it, the work order, the operational data, and identify loopholes. You can take proper decisions. I mentioned earlier we had some interesting facts found with the data that we created for a client in the last 6 months. So one information that came out of it was that we identified compliance issues, I would say. A certain property manager assigned certain jobs always preferable to one kind of pro without being really looking for the price. And that turned out to be kind of kickback flow, and then our customer took some actions out of that. We also had just this week, we plotted in one city the job of plumber pros from different plumbers in a city according to the properties that our customer has in the city. We could kind of demonstrate that there must be some talk between the companies because they seem not to compete against each other. So now we took decisive actions out of that one to bring in other pros into the region as well and ensure we have a really good working competitive market. So all these kind of information can be found once you have a digital process and all the information, the data sitting in one place, and then you can start analyzing them and taking better actions. This is a busy eye chart. I apologize for that one, but this is really kind of explaining the end-to-end maintenance management process from creating a ticket up to the analyzing the data around it. And the beauty of that one is this is really a total process, but it also is showing what Plentific actually delivers in a modular way. In the middle, you see the whole work order to quoting, invoicing, payment process with a procurement model in the middle. And this is the core of Plentific. And we provide additional extensions, I would say, left and right, beyond the core that enables you to really organize your overall procurement process for maintenance repair in a digital way, most effective way, in one tool, and not in like several tools, like it's very often done today. So I wanted to drive a little bit, talk about results. Again, I think I mentioned earlier already, we can demonstrate and prove that 95% of all jobs that get posted get offers within 24 hours. So there's no real hassle around finding pros to actually be able to perform work orders. Especially if you talk about micro living apartments or anything else, the financial impact is limited to losing money. We drive down cost because of the marketplace approach. We have a constant benchmarking between pros and jobs done on the platform that allows you to become more efficient in an operative way. And as mentioned earlier, this applies to the UK predominantly. We have reduced in the clients the time to closure, time to fix down to 3 days. Again, in Germany, we're right now around 5 days, but usually within a week, everything's closed. This all helps you actually to optimize your repair and maintenance operations and the promise that you have given to your tenants in terms of service and quality. We've been rewarded, and I realized tonight we've just seen that we've been nominated again as a finalist for the most innovative PropTech company in the UK, just announced tonight. We're also, I think, more than a startup, we are more like a grown-up phase, being honest. We had a very strong financial round end of last year that allows us to continue doing investments, which is critical for us from a growth perspective, but also from a product perspective. Now I have one more slide on that one. I might skip that a little bit just to show you we're investing, we want to grow, but I want to just think a little bit more on the German side to give you a little bit insight on that one. When we really started beginning of this year, I joined actually in January 6th this year, we had like 3,000 properties in the pilot run with a little bit more than 80 companies, pros that worked with us on the platform. And I'm really excited to say that the team has done an incredible job in terms of growing fastly, not just punctual in some bigger cities, but really kind of across Germany. By end of December, I expect that we have like 1,500 registered pros on the platform. We have an underpinned 60,000 properties this year. I'm planning for 150 to 200K next year. And we're going to provide services in more than 50 cities. That's been a phenomenal job and shows actually the adoption rate and the value we can deliver to customers. Last but not least, before opening this for a Q&A, we mentioned earlier we're going to invest in continuously developing the product. I'm really proud to see that Plentific actually initiated a kind of incubator program. We call it Property Labs. So we sit down together with our customers to identify critical issues they might see. It could be asbestos, it could be void management, it could be compliance, anything they pick as a topic they would need to improve in some way from a process perspective. Then we create a program out of that runs about for 7 weeks, multiple meetings, not 7 weeks in once, don't worry. And then working on a solution for that specific topic to implement that as a product or an extension in the Plentific platform so it can be extended from a service perspective. Having said that, I like to kind of conclude here. Thank you for your time. Would like to open it now for discussions and questions that we might have. Just need to see if I actually can. Do we have any raising hands so far? I haven't seen any yet, being honest. Any questions in the chat? I can maybe, Jem, I've seen that Jem has joined. He's joining the next one. Allowed to talk. No questions? Jem, do you want to say some words? I've just realized you just joined as well.
Hi, Sven. No, I just logged in to listen to what you're sharing and supporting you and waiting for the next session to kick off. So thank you for very much.
Okay, so again, if there are any questions right now, it's a good time. I think I gave everyone permission to talk. Otherwise, my contact details are available. I had a couple of people that on board here already at talks today. And otherwise, I wish everyone a great evening. I'd like to recommend to follow the next session as one panel at 6 p.m. Where Jem is as well a part of that. And otherwise, I wish everyone a great evening and another great day tomorrow. Okay.